hopefully. Let's have a look. Come on, work, you bastard. See if anybody can see us. Come on, let us know if you're there. Anybody gonna let us know? Guys, if you can see us in the chat, please let us know that. I think we might be having a friggin'. Oh, I think we're on.
Wow.
No, Squire, we are live. You are live. Holy Michael.
Fucking A.
Thank
Struggles.
God. Because for a little while there, it was getting a little bit ropey. It was like, okay, we may be screwed.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I usually say welcome to the fix. This is not the fix. Deep inside the minds. Some of the best arm wrestlers in the world, ladies and gents, and we have one of them with us now. And if you don't know this guy, what the is your problem?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Who the is that guy? Listen,
Yeah.
it takes a long time to grow that kind of beard. It takes a long time to get this good. And if you like your super heavyweights, they don't come much bigger than this one. How big are you, mate? Give everybody sort of the lowdown on the show now.
Height 199 centimeters, also known as 6'6".
6'6".
Yeah. Weight 170, around 170, probably 171, and that's like 380 pounds.
So you're
And
a high risk category if you're on the, if you get sent to prison and you're on the top bunk. I think that's high risk.
Yeah, yeah. And then 8 inches.
Nice. Distance between nipples? Any?
Huh?
Have you done distance between nipples?
This should be this would be about 34 centimeters, I think.
There you go. I know you like a little bit of stats on here, guys, and we like to start things off with stats and technical. We friggin' didn't want to start things off with technical. It's been a little bit too much technical, to be perfectly honest, but we got there. Let's have a look who we got in. So, leave us an arm wrestling. How are you doing? Houdini Sports. Scuba Steve, that's a top class name. Not often I like that a lot. Scuba Steve. Hello to you, son. And congratulations on that name. Benji Mack is in there. Tim is in there, the Dungeon Master. He says, when Filip gets on the talking scales, it says, one at a time, please. He's a big lad. No doubt about that, Tim. No doubt about it. So, King's Crossing, weight, height, and jock size are the important stats. Yep. Mike Ford, what's up, dudes and dudettes? So, Mike, he was out with not long ago. Only, what is it now? A month?
3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's pretty autistic because it's close to like a month.
Yeah. Andy Beckett's in there.
Still had to correct.
We'll allow a few people to flood in and then we'll get going. So as I was saying, guys, deep inside the minds, great to have Filip Larsson on the show. And tonight we're going to dig into, this is part one, incidentally, ladies and gents, part one, because Filip's not shy and he's got a significant history and we want to tell it, basically. That's the idea of this show. For anybody who's not seen the Deep Inside the Minds before, Big Laws, Lawrence Charlet is in the chat. Laws, are you a man with a beard to your own or just a little shorter? And yeah. So, Filip.
Yes.
Where shall we start, mate? Where shall we start? I always like to sort of get a breakdown where you're from. Have you lived there originally? I know you're still in the same place that you were originally.
Well, kinda. I was born in Malmo, like this biggest city in South Sweden. Lived there for about 12 years before we moved out to like the suburbs outside of Malmo in a town called Svedala. And then I was there for about 10 years. I was living there before I moved to Lund, which is like it's like a college city. Like we have the kind of like, I don't know how you translate the Swedish high school. It's like high school, but
Like a
like,
university town
yeah, university. Yeah,
where the dominant.
university, where
Yes, yeah,
they produce a lot of engineers, doctors, and stuff like that. So it's a student
yeah,
university town or city, and that's where I
yeah.
live now and have been for 6 years. So, but where I am right now is in Denmark because I'm working every week. So
Yeah,
then
so
I
tell us
stay in
about that,
Denmark.
mate. Why Denmark? Why you?
I'm like a currency
What's the sort of
worker.
story there with it?
Uh, I've been working for a Danish company for 6 years, and during those 6 years, I've spent almost all of them working in the Swedish department, where we do rigging work for industries and building sites and stuff like that. And that means that I take in huge things, equipment that people like, let's say ventilation. We take in the big air housing units. We do bridges. We do escalators. Like we do all of the putting big heavy stuff in place, and that goes
Yep.
for like we do so many different things, so it's hard to specify on one. But right now I'm working in a place called Nova Nordisk, which is like Nova Nordic. It's like the
Mhm.
biggest the biggest company in Denmark. They own like 60% of Denmark, and they make like vaccines and peptides and all. They do all the sort of medical industry stuff. I probably do like
Excellent.
growth hormones, all that stuff,
Yeah, I don't think you
which is
need
a
any,
little bit.
mate.
They actually, I've actually been diagnosed with, or not diagnosed, but they were looking for if I had the diagnosis for gigantism, but I did not. So, but I have some other
Is
weird
that,
skeletal
forgive
thing.
my sort of ignorance on this, mate? Is it a pituitary gland?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
the
so.
so it's a they can't effectively they couldn't or they wouldn't have been able to switch off your pituitary gland if that's the
Like
craze
they
that is, isn't
did
it?
growth hormone tests on me and they were normal, but because they were normal at the time they took him, they did not continue. But to make a complete assessment, you have to take growth hormone tests for a few times over a few months to know if you have it or not. But they usually, because of funding, I guess, or like money issues, they don't do it if the first test is normal.
Mhm. Interesting.
So
So tell me about your family, mate. You got brothers, sisters?
I got a sister. She's also kind of a freak. She had been training. We were doing powerlifting together in the beginning, and she had trained for maybe a year, and she pulled 405. So she's a strong girl.
Yes.
And I've felt her in arm wrestling now, but and I would assume that she would be fucking great in just a short period of time.
Is she very big girl, tall girl?
Yeah, she's 6'1", I think, or 6 foot. She has 182 centimeters. I don't really know the conversion to. I only know my own,
Yep.
but she's 182 centimeters, and she's heavy, very heavy. Right now, at least, and like she's Barbora size, so she would be dangerous if
Right.
she started arm wrestling. But good for her, but bad for arm wrestling is that she's competing in like dog things. I'm not that interested in it, but she's like protection, obedience, and stuff like that. She's competing at the world level
Or like
with her
police
dogs.
dogs, that kind of.
Yeah, but it's not police. I think it's called like IPA or IP something. I'm not really that invested, so I don't
Yep.
know. But IPO, I think it's IPO,
Hmm.
and I don't know what it stands for. So, but she's competing at the highest level in the world with her dogs.
Wow.
So
So
She's also
no interest in getting into the game of iron arms just yet.
no, sadly not. Even though I'm gonna continue to try to convince her that it's the most fun sport in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But currently, I don't think it's gonna happen. She's
So
too
let's talk
invested
a
in
little
her own
bit about
things.
your emergence to strength sports, mate, because you said there that
Mm.
your sister powerlifted with you. We know you
Yeah,
also were involved in strongman. At what kind of level
yeah.
you doing that, mate?
Like I did powerlifting for about 10 years. And though during those 10 years, I took the Swedish records and became the national champion in WRPF and broke like the deadlift record in the federation and broke the bench press record. The squat I never did very good in. So uh, then I got injured and I got a little bit bored with powerlifting because it's just two lifts for me because I did a push pull meet at the end. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do now? So I figured, fuck, my one of my best mates was doing strongman, so I started strongman. And then when I had done strongman for a year, then I was in a motorcycle accident and I fucked up my ankle completely. Like it got twisted all around and it was broken in 5 different places. So I had to do surgery and be in a cast. And once that was done and I had rehabbed that, I started again. And then I tore my plantar fascia. Do you know the one that Haftor
Yeah,
tore when
underneath
he
your foot,
in?
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I tore that. I was out for 6 weeks from training, and then I came back and I injured my hamstring in my first ever competition. But we did like farmers walk, and I beat the best guy in Sweden at that event uh, with a full second. 20, no, 15 times 15 meters with 160 kg in each hand.
Hmm.
So I was quick. And but I tore my hamstring in that competition, so I had to pull out of the competition. And then I started becoming strong again once that healed. And then some guy broke my knee at a festival, and that's where I said, "Fuck it, I'm not continuing
How?
strongman."
Whoa, sweet child of mine.
Mhm.
Some guy broke your knee. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know exactly how it happened because I was standing up and it was a mosh pit, you know, where people jump around and shit.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's a guy jumping into me, and then I take a step back and I just feel like my entire knee cracking all the way around from left all the way the backside
Gee.
around to the front. And I fell down and my knee folded like that way, 90 degrees in the wrong direction. Not forward, but to the side.
Dear me, Filip Larsson.
And yeah, and I was like, oh my God. And my strongman mate was with me there, so he was tried to pull me up, and I was like, just give me 1 second. And then he pulled me up, and I tried to support, like stand on the leg, and it just folded again. So I had to jump out on one foot, and went to the emergency room, and they said, that's just a second degree hockey injury, the MCL, the medial collateral ligament in the knee. You'll be fine in 4 weeks. And they sent me home. So I got a little bit pissed. I went to another hospital and they did the tests on my knee and they said the same thing. And I'm like you're hardly pulling my knee. How the fuck can you know if there's something wrong with it or not? Because you know I'm one of the strongest people in Sweden, right? Yeah, but we have done the test and it's all good. So I waited 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and the knee was still fucked. Called them again, and they said we have done everything we can. And I said, but you haven't done an MRI. So they said they couldn't do that. So I was like, okay. Kept going at it for a
What
few
was the reason
weeks
for not wanting to do an MRI? That's ridiculous.
because they had made like a regular X-ray and they saw no bone damage. But I said, that's not how it works. I'm not saying my leg is broken. I'm saying my knee, like the soft tissue is destroyed. But that's the like Sweden in a nutshell for you with the our medical care. They just try to get you out as quickly as possible. So I went on and I had to be on morphine painkillers like Oxys. Do you know what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to be on those for a few weeks, and then I
Oh,
was
right.
sick of it. So I called them again and I said, "You have to give me a fucking MRI now, or I'm gonna like go fucking crazy." And they said, "We can't do that." Oh, so I said, "Okay, I'll see you in the emergency room in an hour. I'll break my fucking leg again and come in." And they said, "Well, you can't do that." I was like, "You fucking forcing me to. I'm gonna do that now and I'll see you in an hour." And then they said, "Give me 2 minutes." And then they booked the appointment for me like the Tuesday after, so probably just 5 days after. And I got a real surgeon to come in and look at my knee, and she
Yeah.
was janking it, and she felt like the gap, like a clicking and movement where it shouldn't be movement. So I got an MRI, and the MRI showed that all my cartilage was gone. Both meniscuses were shattered. The ACL was torn. The MCL was torn. So I really couldn't do anything. And I asked them, "So when do we have surgery?" And they said, "Well, there's a lot of waiting time now. So you can use we have like an insurance in Sweden. So if it takes longer than 90 days, they will pay for private healthcare for you." So I said, "Okay, then I'll fucking do the private healthcare." So it took about 2 months. So November 22, I had my surgery. They had to go in my knee 50 times to clean out, like with the tools, 50 times in my knee to clean out stuff. They had to take my tendon from the hamstring, like the inner thigh,
Yeah.
uh, replaced my ACL with that. They had stitched together my meniscuses, and they did something called microfracturing to try and create like a scar tissue where the cartilage has been. So I postponed my arthritis for a few years at least. So that happened. The
Well, before we move on from the whole Larsson knee saga, because that sounds pretty grim. The one thing that was amazing there was you said, "Yeah, I'm going to break my own leg
yeah.
and then come back in an hour." What method would you have chose to break it, mate?
Well, I was working at something called the ESS, the European Spallation Source, where we were
Hmm.
building radio protection, like radioactive bunkers, for because it's a particle accelerator. So in every research room, you have to build the protection, like huge fucking blocks of concrete with lead dust in it just to
Yeah.
reduce the radiation. So they weigh 16 tons each. So I would probably just have put my knee in between one of those and then with the crane just smashed it and then go to the hospital. Because then it's quick at least.
Okay, I'm glad I asked that. Yeah. So that's different. Yeah.
Well, I figure like if you do it quick, it doesn't hurt.
Okay, because I once,
If
never mind. You
if
ever
you break
caught
it,
your floppy dog in your zip, Philip?
no, never.
I have.
Luckily, I haven't.
Yeah, when I was younger, I did that. And
Was
that's
it janking it or
no, I was
slowly pulling it?
zipping up to do a runner,
Yeah.
and yeah, straight through, really
Ooh.
fast, mate, really fast.
So it actually cut it.
Oh yeah, it went straight through. Yeah,
Holy shit. That's worse
I
than
was
my
I
knee
was
injury.
fairly late. Well, late. I mean, massively late at the time.
So
To
that's
be
why
fair.
you don't have a strongman career now.
Now, bear in mind that happened really fast as well. Really bad.
But did you notice it like that?
Oh yeah,
Or was it just like, what the fuck? And then you look down and then you
yeah. It
saw
was
it
like one of
and
those where it was like, oh, we gotta go, run, and then I'm not gonna go into detail, but yeah, it was like, oh shit, just stopped, dead. And I looked down and I thought, oh no, oh that's bad. And then it was like immediate panic. Then it's like, what? How do you? What we're gonna do? Mm. So that
well,
was really bad. But it was the fast, it won't hurt thing. That is not that's
Uh,
not true.
okay, not for everything, maybe.
No, no,
But
don't ever
like when
do.
when I crushed my ankle, it was fast and it didn't hurt that much.
And how did that? That was on what, street bike or dirt bike?
No, a street bike, like a custom, like Triumph Rocket. So I was driving, and there was a person just turned right into me and crashed into me. Like my foot got stuck in the wheelhouse, and my bike kept going. So it twisted my ankle. And with the thing what you said with looking down, because
Mm,
I saw the shoe flying in the peripheral vision as soon as that happened. And my leg got like ice cold in an instant, my entire leg.
yeah,
So my first thought was, wow, that was my fucking foot. And I'm bleeding like crazy now. That's why my
yeah.
leg is
Can
cold.
imagine.
So I didn't dare to look down until because I got pushed out and out in the grass. And then when I turned back on the tarmac or the asphalt, I slowed down and then I looked down and then I saw my foot was just twisted 180. So I was, whew, thank God it's only twisted
Dear me.
because I thought I was so ready for it just being my ankle or just being yeah, my ankle and my foot being over there.
You strike me as a guy that does well with pain, Philip.
I don't feel much pain, I think, because I don't like it. I don't like pain, but I don't think I have a very high pain threshold, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It really sounds that way.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of
'Cause
pain. You know what I mean?
I-
I've actually created like a scale of extreme pains, things
have
that
you
people
seen
don't talk about a lot. But
uh,
I actually call it the seven deadly. I'm not joking. Seven deadly pains. Yeah,
uh,
but there's a
and
few in there that are
which one
absolute.
did the knob in the zipper? How do you rank
That's
that?
definitely it's definitely one of the seven. Yeah, but there's a
But
few in there that people will know. I mean, obviously, have you ever There's I mean, number one. I can run through a couple of them if you want. Sellotape rippy lippy pain is one.
when
Have you
you
ever?
put sellotape on your
Well, it's when I usually at Christmas time
uh,
you're wrapping presents and you're in a rush because you're late going to somebody's house and you get the sellotape and you bite the sellotape and rip it away and it catches on your lip and rips your fucking lip off. You ever done that?
I don't think I'm a but like I have had the pain of ripping the skin off the lip, but not with
Yeah.
sellotape.
Sellotape rippy lippy pain is bad shit. It's really bad. It is. It's bad. They're also washing hair in sinky upside down back of head pain is fucking bad. Where you basically usually you're lit and you're at somebody else's house and you're washing your hair in their sink and they got one of them fucking taps that comes over, especially the
And then
really
you
antique brass ones that are sharp as shit and immovable. You could put one of those tanks you were talking about, the tap wouldn't fucking move. Right. And you're washing your hair upside down, you come up, you go dunk, and you
uh,
fucking lamp the back of your head into one of
but
them.
that's also a delayed pain. It takes like a few seconds before you
Yeah.
feel it.
Well, you taste a bit of blood, don't you? You taste a bit of blood and then you think, fuck. And then you realize what you've done.
And then the rage meter just cranks up to
Yeah,
100.
really bad. Middle of the night, uh, toe on door pain is really fucking bad. Have you ever done that where you walk in through someone's house and you twat your toes on the edge of a door?
Too many times.
How bad's that?
That's bad.
That's a bad
That's
one.
that's way worse than ripping your pick.
That's a fucking bad pain. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that is
fucking
bad. I
horrible.
once did that hard. It was in this mate of mine's house, and he had like a heavy oak door, and I did it with such ferocity, such venom, because I was just going for a piss or something in the middle of the night, and I fucking cracked my toes right on the edge of the door, and I did it with such ferocity that the door vibrated on its hinge, and it was like a really big, heavy wooden oak fucking door. And I remember that was at and I looked down, like saying all my toes were like fucked. They were all
You
face
should get
right
like
on.
you should get like steel tip loafers or something
It's what you
for a
need.
night pissing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the word I think probably top pain ever. I think it is because I was led on the floor of my house shouting some weird shit. Like it's bad when you do that. And I think I was shouting something like Jesus Christ, Lord help me God, something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
blasphemy.
yeah, some strange stuff. Because my phone rang, and my missus, we'd not long had the house, and she'd been hoovering downstairs and unplugged the Hoover,
And
and
you
she
stepped on the plug.
the 3-pin plug upside down. I've heard my phone ring, come legging it downstairs, and I used to jump from. It's quite a fit lad
Oh,
at that time, like 80 kilos and in shape, had abs and everything. And about 4 steps from the bottom, I jumped, don't I? So I'm jumping to run and get my phone. And while I'm in the air, I get peripheral vision of, oh shit, there's the plug. And I've got nothing on my feet, just socks. And yeah, I could see it, and it sort of happened in slow mo. And I tried like an idiot to sort of like cushion the blow, you know what I mean? So like I
oh,
tried to like roll out of it, but it landed and the plug went into my heel to the plastic. So all 3 pins, but
oh my
right
God.
into my
I'm
foot.
getting fucking,
Oh yeah.
oh fuck.
And it went literally to the plastic. So I wanted to roll up my back, I had to pull the plug out and it went like that. And it
Oh,
fucking knocked. I can tell you that was a bad one.
ooh, yeah, that
Yeah, there
sounds
are
bad.
other, in the
No,
seven deadly
nothing worse
sins.
than that. I think that tops the list.
Yeah, that was really bad. But there is, I mean, one other that I'm sure other people have done. So Trafford Centre sprinting at night, tow bar pain is bad. So basically, that's when you come out of Trafford Centre late and you're quite lit. A lot of these things happen there, and you're running to your mate's car in the wet, like a dickhead, and you're having a race, no apparent reason, and your mate's running down, and he's a little bit faster than you, and you're running, and I'm heavy at this point. I'm about 105 kilos, and I'm legging it down. I can see him running, and I'm going to try and make the door before he does. So I come piling down behind these cars, and then at the very last minute, I see that one of them's got a caravan tow bar on, and it's
And
one
you
of those
hit,
tow bars that's made like with
oh,
I beam or H girder as we call it, and they come out like that to the tow bar, and try to stop, but you've got going out shoes on, and it's raining, and there's no grip at all, and you slide for about half a foot, and then cannon your shin into this. Oh, fuck. Mate,
mm,
let me tell you, really bad. And what makes it worse is when your mates all come and go things like, get up, you soft bastard. When you are legitimately dying, you're that bad, you're led flat on your back in the rain outside the Trafford Centre with those people, and you still don't give a shit. You're going,
oh,
it's really bad.
oh yeah,
We
that's.
digress here, Phil. I
Hmm.
don't know how we've got here, really.
It's, it's, well,
Yeah.
now I don't feel so unlucky anymore.
Yeah, we covered off a little bit of the seven deadly pains. But anyway, let's
Yeah,
wind the clock back a bit, mate. Wind the clock back a bit. So you talked about the records that
yeah,
you powerlifting. Obviously, we
yeah.
got a lot of strength bands, crossover strength bands. What kind of numbers
Mm.
were you at, mate, on the deadlift and the bench?
The 380 kg suited, so that's not very good. But my raw
Wow.
deadlift was 365 kg, so 805 pounds.
Yeah, really
It's
good.
my raw deadlift, and my bench press is probably the one that's best. I've done 260, but in training, so that's 573 pounds. And I've done in competition 252.5, which is 560, I think.
Yeah, really respectable numbers, mate.
Yeah. And my
Very
squat
good.
is nothing to talk about. I've only done 300 kg in the squat because my hips don't like going that way.
You know what? I was
So,
never as good at squats as well. Not that I was, amazing
mm,
at any of the powerlifting disciplines. I had a decent bench and a decent deadlift, but I don't know, squat never appealed to me at all. It was always, I always really
yeah.
struggled with it.
And also when you have like a long thigh bone, like a
Mm.
long femur, and then it fucks up with the leverages. So it's not really. I'm not built to squat, so
Interesting.
I'm kind of blaming on that at least. But there are probably people with long femurs who squat fucking great. So I probably just shit at squatting. But I still did 300 kg, which is
Not bad at
not
all.
not to be ashamed of,
Yeah.
but still, compared to the other lifts, it's very subpar, like very, very bad.
250 kilo bench is some bench, mate. That's excellent.
Yeah, in competition, 252 and a half.
Mm. Very,
And
very.
then yeah, I think it's like competition bench. I think it's ranked top 400 in the world.
I think that's heavier than Lavam, isn't it?
He's done 270 in training, I think,
Has he?
but there's a big difference between like training lift and a competition lift
Mm.
because you have to pause it. And then some federations you have to have like a second and a half pause, and
Yeah.
some you only have to have half a second. So it's a little bit like that's a big difference between competition standard and gym lift. So
I think we got Lawrence Shartley. If Loz, if you're still watching, knows as much about strength and that kind of feat as anybody. The guy's an absolute encyclopedia in that respect. Loz, let us know, mate. What do you think of those numbers? Pretty bloody solid, in my opinion. See what Loz comes back with on that. They sound like they're really solid to me, mate. But at the time when you were big into your powerlifting, looking to get
yeah.
into strongman, were you aware of arm wrestling? Had you seen it before, come across it before? Any real interest there?
I've been I don't remember when I started watching arm wrestling, but it was probably somewhere around 17, like 2017, 2018.
Okay.
But the first time I ever knew arm wrestling was a sport was actually Magnus Samuelsson and the what's his name now?
Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever knew that you could compete in it when he broke his arm.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think my arm wrestling interest, looking at Devon Larratt, looking at arm wars, because like Niklas Nannestad, Glenn Bengtsson, and those guys, Cobra Rhodes. Also, I saw the Pulling John
Yeah.
like way, way, way before I started arm wrestling.
Hmm. How did
But
you
I
find
didn't
that?
know the film.
Yeah, when you were a non-arm wrestler, what do you think?
I loved it. It's
Yeah.
so cool to see like a guy be excelling in that way. It's like the way they showed the movie is like he's been the best for so many years and being his they said somewhere that he is the most uh what do you call it in English now? The most
The most decorated.
yeah, but also like he's the guy who's been the guy for the most time in any sport. Like no one in any other sport really has been the guy for that long.
Mm. Most
So
enduring guy
yeah,
in that respect. Yeah.
in Swedish it's called mest överlägsna, but I can't really find the English word right now.
Some great words in Swedish, isn't there? There is. I mean, I used to knock around with a lot of the Swedish guys. Uh,
Yeah,
some of the words are amazing. I particularly like Klart. That's a
klart.
Yeah, it's a great word. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I like that. I like some of the sayings as well.
Mm.
You know,
And
like
klart
Eula
means a
Gris,
lot of
Christmas
things.
pig is great. You know, just just the fact that you can say Eula Gris and it means Christmas pig, I think is
Yeah,
great.
it's
Yeah,
great. And also that mask means weak worm.
it does it really.
Yeah, it does.
Amazing. Yeah. So if you've not studied Swedish, anybody in the chat, bit of an educational one there for you.
Yeah.
Klart. What about that?
Uh,
Multiple meanings apparently. Klart.
Well, it means of course. It means that it's clear. It means yeah. Well, it means yeah. Few things.
Yeah,
Those are the ones I can think about right now.
pretty bloody good word. It really is. It's up there.
Mm.
So, mate, did you ever? I mean, most people, the old adage with arm wrestling is that most people have had a go. At some
Mm.
point, most people have arm wrestled, and I find it bloody hard to believe that you wouldn't fall into that category. That's
Of
because
course,
you're such
in
a big lad.
school,
Yeah. How'd you do?
there was only one guy in school who could beat me, and his name was Dan. And I actually have reconnected with him since I started arm wrestling.
Yeah.
And I told him we're gonna have an arm wrestling match, and I fucking whipped his ass.
Was he an arm wrestler or a non-arm wrestler?
No, non-arm wrestler, but
Okay.
he like I think he understood how to lock your arm.
Hmm.
Like lock your arm, you don't really lock it, but like how you can use ligaments to
Yeah,
actually, because there was no one who could beat him in school.
yeah.
He was strong, and he was I don't remember if he was a wrestler, like a regular wrestler, or maybe that was just his friend.
What age was that, buddy?
This was in what we call high school, but you were in high school between I think 13 and 15. So that's yeah, I was probably, yeah, 13 and 12, not because I'm born in December, I was 12 to 15.
And were you a big lad then? Were you always the biggest kid in
Yeah,
school, or
always, always. I was both big as in tall and big as in fat as fuck.
yeah?
So school wasn't really that great for me, being bullied for being a fat ass. But also, I wasn't the guy who did not punch you in the face if you said it. So,
I must admit, I mean, you with more weight on, still you're pretty big lad. So
yeah.
I'm taking it was gangs of people bullying you rather than singles.
Well, it's like mostly, yeah, mostly the entire class. There's one guy who says something funny and then everyone laughs. And when everyone laughs at you, when it's not that easy to counter everyone.
No,
But like a lot of times you had just to be quick thinking and you just made a comeback and they all laughed at him instead. But
yeah.
yeah, it's all, and then it's always the same thing. When it's just your fatty, like stuff like that, it's easier to deal with. But I didn't like school very much, so my grades are not the best, but I just because I wasn't almost never in school.
Were you quite a troubled kid?
Only because of that. Nothing else.
So it
Like,
was that put you off, if you will, going to school. You didn't like it.
yeah, you don't want to go to a place where everyone calls you fat ass.
Wow, it sounds like it got pretty bad. Was that a major theme then for you when you were at school? It happened a lot, did it?
Yeah, 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 all the way from like early school, like when I started school, even in preschool, I think, and moving on all the way up until like I quit school or I finished school, but without perfect, like not full grades. Uh, how old are you then? 18. So
Interesting.
all my school year I've been bullied, but I also, I mean, I can understand why people bully when you're fucking fat as hell, and then you get sad and you get home and you eat more to comfort yourself, and you get into a negative spiral and like eating disorder, and all of a sudden your fucking hormones are crazy with insulin and ghrelin and leptin and stuff like that. So you get more hungry, even though you are technically full. You just you're never full because your hormones, like your appetite hormones, they are fucking with you because you eat so much shit. So you can eat 3,000 calories and 2 hours later you eat another 3,000 calories because you're just so fucked up with your appetite hormones.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that happened to you, mate. And that,
Well, I'm not, because that made me who I am today. When I lost weight, I lost 80 kg in 14 months. So
why? Was it
because I,
work or just the bullying?
well, like when you lose your virginity when you're fucking 18 and then you can't get another chick for 2 years because you're still fat, you were just lucky one time, then you're like, fuck, I got to do something. And I was sitting in my car and I had to undo my 7XL jacket because I couldn't breathe because it was too tight.
7XL jacket.
7XL jacket, yeah. So I had to go to the store and buy a 9XL. And then when I bought the 9XL jacket, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is insane. You gotta fucking stop this. And my first initial idea was I went to my dad and I said, dude, I really I really want to do like a gastric bypass surgery
Jesus.
because yeah, just because I had tried to lose weight before but unsuccessfully. I probably lost 12 kg, but then I wanted to, what do you say, reward myself. And as soon as you started rewarding yourself, you went back because you had like severe eating disorder. Not really like it's like you make it yourself. I'd say that kind of eating disorder you make yourself. It's not like it's a bad habits that causes it.
And
Not
it was,
really
when you say eating disorder, it was comfort eating. So you were eating
comfort
as
eating
an
and
address for depression.
boredom eating and celebration eating and just eating. So I could eat like I've never eaten that much as a strongman as I did as a fat guy playing World of Warcraft,
Jesus.
escaping reality. So I bought like a full loaf of bread, cut it through the middle because in Sweden they're usually not pre-cut. Cut it through the middle and just put butter on both sides and all kinds of like hams, eggs. Like we have something called liver paste, which is delicious. You should try it. Uh, and that's like tons of fucking calories. And I had that for breakfast at 9 in the morning. And then at 12, I went to McDonald's and got four big tasties. And then at 4 o'clock, went to another burger joint called Sibylla and got four bacon cheeseburgers. So I ate like crazy. And then I went to the supermarket and got like a bag of 1 kg bag of chili nuts and just ate them. And I drank 4 liters of regular sugar Coke every day, just constantly.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I gained a lot of weight. My highest weight was 420 pounds, and then I did not train during that time. That was like a kind of a hard depression.
To
So
be fair, mate, it probably saved your life that you were such a big lad.
I'm pretty sure it did. And it also, when you have, when you put yourself in a position, because no one else put me in that position but myself, I take full responsibility for the way I lived that time. When you put yourself in such a shitty position and you tell your dad that you want to take the easy way out with the surgery, and he says, he asked me, like, he looked me in the eyes, and now it sounds like the like the Robert O'Burr story, but he looked at me and he said, "Can you try it for me just one time? Do your absolute best, do everything you can, and if you fail, we will fix the surgery for you." So then I said, "Fuck it. I'll do everything I can this time. I'll try for once in my life to give it 100% because I had never done that before." 14 months later, I'd lost 80 kg. And that's when I knew that it sounds cringy, but that's when you knew that if you put 100% into something, it's almost impossible to fail. Almost impossible. Whatever it is. It's like if you put all your energy into it, you should be able to succeed. And if you don't, then either you're doing something wrong or maybe that's just impossible for you. Like there are people, let's take Mindaugas Terrasitis. It doesn't matter what he does. He will never beat Levon. It doesn't matter. Like it's impossible. But what he has done is he's the best or one of the absolute best in his class. So giving it something 100% takes you very far.
And he's also the biggest in the history of arm wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no, I mean, that's not close.
Not
I'm
even
going to say
close.
that if no matter what Levan does,
Mm.
there's no way he can be that much of a.
It's impossible.
You can't. You know, he could go to school and he could
Mm.
every night. You know, and have a special tutor come in who's an absolute massive
Mm.
and teach him to be a massive every night, and he still will never be as much of a massive as Mindaugas is.
Not even close.
Not close. I'm just saying.
It's different games.
Yeah, well, there's levels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
levels.
100%.
Big.
And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, maybe
Mm.
because Terrasatis is the highest level I've ever come across in my life. No doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
But wow, back onto a serious note there, mate, for a second. That's
Mm.
pretty shell-shocking stuff there.
Well,
Your entire schooling career was pretty miserable.
yeah, and there was also one teacher who bullied me. It was the gym class teacher. Like the
Now that is
he
disappointing.
yeah, and that I I kind of got back at him though in my adult life because I was in a like it's called a ASTA, translated to White Town.
Right.
There's a beach there, and I saw him walking, and this is when I had already like doing powerlifting for 6 years or something.
Yeah.
And then he walked up to me because he saw me and he said like, "Hi, Philip, how you doing?" And I told him, "I was good until you got here, you fucking cunt. You better walk away before I smash your face in."
Mm.
So because that guy was
A nasty
horrible.
piece of work. Yeah.
Yeah, but like every fucking time we had class, he was like, "Did you bring your clothes today?" And I was like, "No." And then he always pointed at me for every, even if I did bring my training clothes, he was like, "Oh, if there was someone else who had forgotten or didn't bring," he said, "Oh, like Philip usually do." He kept on always pointing out the that stuff, and yeah, he was horrible. And
Yeah,
together
and
with
that's
all the other stuff, it was
frustrating as
just,
well because you
yeah,
clearly do have and did have genuine athletic potential, certainly
yeah,
the environment of strength. And I think
yeah,
it's most important for any teacher or coach to spot that,
yeah,
especially in kids, young people. If you can spot someone who can, and like you said a moment ago, the wonderful thing, the beauty about kids is and young people is that you will always, I mean, they've got so much time that even if it's not a kid that's got tremendous natural ability, so they're not
mm,
naturally predisposed to be amazing at a sport, because there's
mm,
definitely some of that in any sport. If I'm sure Tiger Woods, the first time he picked up a golf club, could hit a golf ball. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you can still quite clearly
mm,
improve dramatically whatever sport you have a go at. Anything. If you've got
yeah, of
some
course,
kind of desire to do well, if you practice your ass off, you'll get pretty decent.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's a shame that you've got a teacher who's not encouraging that. It's a real shame. But each
But
to
that's
their own.
old. That's history. And
So
I'm not crying over old stuff because it
no,
brought me to where I am today. It brought me to the what do you say, the enlightenment of knowing that if you put your mind to shit, you can actually do it.
yeah. And
So
I wanted to also just try and zone in a little bit before we get into the sort of arm wrestling and sport background. First of all, before I do, were there any sports, it's the right way of saying this, that regardless of you playing them, doing them, were you really interested in? So let's say that coach should have come over, your teacher would have come over, and you'd have said, I'll tell you what, Philip, fancy a crack at this. Was there a sport that you would have been into or would have gravitated towards? Either that someone you respected did, were influenced by did, maybe your dad or someone you looked up to. Were there any sports that were appealing to you?
well, in different parts of my life, like when I was a young kid, I played a lot of football and was pretty good at it. But then didn't like running anymore because I became too fat. And then I did tennis and I became pretty good at it. I'm nowhere near like elite level or something, but every sport I did, I was better than most people at who had done it for the same time. So my
Mm.
athletic ability in the sense that I have a like sense of racket sports. I don't miss the ball.
You got good hand-eye.
Yeah, good hand-eye, good coordination. When I was doing martial arts, even though I weighed 154 kg, I could still kick people over the head, and I could still do all the, is it called somersaults or like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you run forward or jump, do a
yeah,
fucking like spin and land on your feet. All that stuff I could do even though I weighed like 154 kg. I couldn't
yeah.
do backflips, but I could do back rolls and stand up. Like, if you fall backwards, you just kick yourself up and you land on your feet. But I couldn't jump backflip.
Good impressive stuff, mate. You quite
Mm.
clearly had natural athleticism, so it's such a shame that guy didn't spot that in you.
Yeah,
What
but
a shame.
I found out a little bit later. Like, when I did martial arts, people said that you shouldn't be able to do that. It's not possible.
Mm.
but they were saying it in an encouraging way.
Yeah, sort of somebody like Iron Bibby, who's I don't know what Bibby weighs right now, but I know that he's been 200 kilos there or thereabouts for a man who's
Mm,
probably 6'3". And yet
yeah.
he can do like hand somersaults, like a forward handspring and amazing
Mm,
stuff that you look at a guy that big and think, no way, but he can,
yeah. It's crazy.
remarkable. Yeah. So there are some people out there. I mean, it's surprising actually when you look around the sport of arm wrestling, there are a lot of genuine athletes, guys that have so much background and strongman. I mean, like Eddie Hall was a national level swimmer.
Yeah.
I mean, Lawrence Sharpley was in the chat. I think he was very high level ping pong player, table tennis player. Also, I
Mm,
think he was British champion at Kung Fu. So, multiple disciplines there. And you often find that people who are champion in any sport have got some kind of natural base that's a pretty high level. But
mm.
let's talk about another area of your life in which you excelled, mate. Because word on the street is that you were quite the gamer.
Yeah, well, it was like an escape. Excuse me. Like an escape from reality. You didn't want to be in school, so you stayed at home playing computers.
Yeah,
And you got friends online that did not weren't rude to you. We were well rude where everyone was is rude on the internet, but they were not bullying. It was like he had friends there. I started gaming first Counter-Strike and Battlefield 2. And actually, in Battlefield 2, I became the number 4 guy in Sweden in aircrafts, like the fourth best Swede in aircrafts. And that translated to the number 8th or ninth guy in the world because the top 4 guys in the world, 3 of them were Swedes.
yeah.
So that was a pretty good run. And then I started playing
You
World of
earn money with
Warcraft.
that, Philip.
Not with Battlefield, never with Battlefield 2, but with World of Warcraft I did. I played for a long time, different things, doing the like. I don't know if you've ever played or heard about World of Warcraft,
You know
but
what, mate?
it's
I've never been on any kind of game or computer game for an extended period of time.
mm,
I've played arcade games, like when you go to
yeah,
my boys, they don't got it much to be honest, but they do have bloody hell do they have something like a PlayStation or an Xbox, something like that.
yeah,
And they play a football game on there, and they play a UFC game on there. And a
yeah,
couple of times at Christmas, I've been down and I've got pasted. Don't know what I'm doing really. So
yeah,
not really a game guy. Don't know a lot about it. Never
mm,
watched it, but I know it's big. I know Derek Smith was like a professional game guy,
mm.
wasn't he? And Ethan. I mean, was Ethan the guy that got him into it? I'm not sure, but I know there's a couple of guys
Mm.
that were really big into gaming in the arm wrestling. In arm wrestling, they were professional gamers, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
Derek was professional. I think he did that for a living for a
yeah.
period of time. I don't know what game.
I never did it for a living, but I made money off it.
Mm,
Because in the expansion, people who have played World of Warcraft will understand. No one else will understand this, so I'll keep it short. In Mist of Pandaria, the expansion, season 12, Rated Battlegrounds, we were the number 1 ranked team in the entire
yeah,
world.
I mean that's bloody excellent. And I know
Mm,
somebody in the chat will know, but there was. Do you know Ethan Fritchie? Have you ever come across him?
not really.
So there was a lightweight puller called Ethan Don Fritchie's son. Don Fritchie's sort of old school puller. His son Ethan Fritchie, he was actually in. I'll tell you what he was in. Game of Arms.
Mm.
The Game of Arms show that was
I haven't seen it, but I know which one it is. That's the one where.
pre WL
Mm,
show called Game of Arms. One of the guys that's in that, he was in Arm War Super Series as well. His name was Ethan Fritchie, very explosive, fast hook puller. Um, I wish I could tell. I wish I could tell you what it was. I can't tell you. I'm not going to make it up, but
mm,
somebody may come into the chat. If you know what Ethan Fritchie did, let us know, guys. But he was definitely a gamer. I'm pretty sure he was a pro gamer, but somebody will know. And I'm also pretty sure, and again, I don't know the game, but I'm also pretty sure I should know the bloody game as well with Derek because he has told us. And for the Arm Wars channel members, there's a film coming out about Derek shortly, and it is literally like a film where we go through all of that. But he was also world level gamer, you know. And I want to say that Derek got involved with arm wrestling because of some loose link there. Like I think he
Mm.
was at a gig and he met Ethan Fritchie or something, and he may have had it. He may have even had his ass handed to him by Ethan Fritchie, who wasn't a big lad. Um,
Mm.
so you can imagine how that was from the optics thing with Derek. And Derek kind of got, oh, there you go. The Drew's saying Derek was Halo champion. Don't know what the hell Halo
Mm.
is, but he's put Halo champion. People will know what that is.
Master Chief.
Okay, okay. So yeah, Derek was a gamer. Ethan Fritchie was a gamer. Might have even been the same game, but yeah, they were both. There's been a couple of them, and I didn't know you were one of those guys, mate. It's quite interesting.
Well, that's a long time ago.
How old were you then?
Uh, Maybe 2021. I don't really remember exactly, but it's season 12, Mr. Pandaria, so it's easy to find out.
And how old are you now,
uh,
Philip?
34.
34.
I'm gonna become 35 this year.
Yeah.
And that's when I was at my fattest, when I was the number one World of Warcraft player in the world in Raid Battleground.
And
So
that's just because you were sat still all day, basically doing it.
we were playing 14 to 16 hours a day.
Holy sh!
Yeah. So we were skipping work. I had quit work actually that time when everything went down. Uh, Played all day, every day. And then I was like, well, I'm making money here, so I don't have to work. But like, I didn't make much money. Maybe made at max $1,000 a month. Like at max, somewhere between 400 and a
The
thousand a month.
commitment you need to do that 14 to 16 hours a day,
Yeah,
every day.
every day. You wake up, you as soon as you wake up, you go to the computer, and then you go have breakfast, bring the breakfast in front of the computer, and you play and eat, and then you keep playing, and then all of a sudden it's 1 o'clock, and then you go eat lunch, or even before that, 11, go eat lunch, then you go back, eat the lunch at your computer, and yeah, it's a very terrible way of living, in my opinion. But luckily, I
Wow.
quit that shit. It's like an addiction. You
How many
have
years
to.
did you do that?
Whew. Thankfully, not too many years spending that much time, but maybe 3 years.
Holy sh! That's
So you,
unreal, mate.
my, when you play World of Warcraft, it
Wow.
logs how many hours you've played. And so I had like, on that one account, I had like 480 days of playtime. So 480 times
That's
24 hours. That's
commitment
how
right
many
there.
hours. Yeah.
Wow. That's
So.
incredible, mate.
But yeah, it was an addiction in a sense. Like when I wasn't playing, I was thinking about it, and I just wanted to go back to the computer. Like even on Christmas and stuff like that. We had Christmas, and I went out and we had the Christmas dinner, and then I went back to the computer. Same with New Year's. I got invited to New Year's parties with a friend of mine called David. He always invited me to parties, and I always said yes, but I never showed up.
My God.
Because I wanted to go, but then when it was time to actually go, I changed my mind because I'd rather be playing computers. Because I was thinking, it doesn't matter if I go there or not, because there's no way I'm getting any chicks. So, and I don't really enjoy sitting there more than I enjoy sitting at the computer. So
That
I
was
was,
amazing as well because we went out for an Indian meal one night in a group
mm.
in my hometown here, and you were in there what 10 minutes, and you already pulled a milf.
Was it even 10 minutes? I
Bloody
think
fast.
I think it was 3 minutes, and
Yeah,
then she wanted,
she was on you. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, she was on you big time. Liked a big boy. Unbelievable. I tell you, mate. What can I tell you?
Uh,
So I've just noticed Brad Grundy is in the chat. Brad, how you doing, buddy?
mm.
Another one of my Favorite puller is Brad. Good lad. Very talented arm wrestler. And,
Yeah,
he's in there. Just put a wavy hand in there.
yeah.
So
But have you? By the way, one thing about Brad, do you know? Did you know that he's retired?
again,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But he will
Brad,
pull soon.
you better not be retired. I'll have to punch you in the.
No, but he's retired until his next match.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah,
Brad. Because Brad was going to be involved in the arm wars coming up in November. He's got something on at that same weekend, unfortunately. But
yeah. But that's gonna be just out of retirement. He had just coming back from retirement.
yeah. So here we go. Hang on a minute. What's he talking about here? Oh, so Brad did a bit of gaming as well. What's with all this gaming? What's going on?
Bunch of fucking nerds,
Yeah.
fat nerds.
Irakli Google Ads is just coming. But I used to play NBA 2K. Like for that, what the f is that? I'm assuming that's a basketball game, yeah?
That sounds like a basketball game,
Sounds
yeah.
like it, doesn't it? I was playing a
And
pro
2K,
tennis
it should
arm
probably
wrestling.
be that's probably 25 years ago then, because all the 2K games I think are from 2000.
Wow.
So that's a long time ago.
Who knew? Arm wrestling and gaming. Yeah. You wouldn't think that link was there, would you? But it would
But I
appear.
think it's like a lot, there's a lot of old gamers in the world. Like people have been gaming. It's a big thing, gaming.
Wow.
I knew a guy who was 42 years old and he was a gamer when we were playing World of Warcraft, and he had a girlfriend, she was 18, and I thought that was fucking weird.
Mm.
Like what the fuck does an 18-year-old see in a 42-year-old gamer?
I mean,
Daddy issues, of course, but
yeah, that's odd. Really strange. I mean, what do I know about gamers? I shouldn't say anything about gamers. I don't know anything about gamers. I think yourself, Ethan Fritchie, uh, and Derek are the only gamers I've ever met, really.
mm,
Unless anybody else I know is now mortally offended because they're a gamer, and I don't know. But I don't know.
gamers aren't easily offended. If you have been on the internet, like Reddit for me is just a regular Tuesday.
You know, I'm not on Reddit, but I've heard that it's quite a bad place for that. Maybe get a little negative.
When people you give the people the ability to voice their opinions without consequences, then you're gonna have some pretty horrible opinions.
Yeah, so be it. Everybody's entitled to the opinion, even if it's a bad one.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, let's have a look here. The Drew Neil, you met Benji Mack. He's a gamer too. Benji Mack's a gamer, is he? What does
Fucking
Benji
nerd.
Mack do?
But like Benji Mac isn't he very good at like technical stuff? Then it's kind of natural that he's a gamer.
So the Drews just put Dexter of
Dex,
EVW
yeah,
name plays
Dexter Tan,
DOTA 2.
Dota
Uh,
2. Yeah,
what's that?
Dota stands for Defenders of the Ancients, and it's like an MOBA game. And MOBA means massive online battle arena. So it's you play 5 versus 5. I played some Dota 2 and I played some Heroes of New Earth. Heroes of New Earth is also a MOBA, and it's sort of like a copy of Dota 2, and it existed for a few years, and I was pretty high ranked in that one as well. But it's a fun game if you're into it.
So do you still do a bit of gaming now? Ed?
No,
Completely
nothing.
sacked it.
When I broke my knee, I bought a completely like a brand new computer because I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna be 8 weeks without moving, because that was what the first surgeon told me. So I bought a brand new computer and downloaded the Elder Scrolls game,
Right.
and I played for about 14 minutes, and then I stopped. And because the surgeon who actually did the surgery on me, the surgeon, he said that I should be walking immediately. That I shouldn't be offloading the knee for 8 weeks, like the first surgeon said. So I didn't have time to game, and I did not actually enjoy it anymore. So I don't enjoy it at all. I tried some like Valorant. It's a game, but it's so fast paced, and I'm an old man now, so I have no chance. There's a 7-year-old kid who kills you 7 times in a row, calls you a retard, and says it's gonna fuck your mom. and then you're like, okay, it's time to log off.
Yeah, he's got high aspirations if he's going for your mum in a lot of ways, and obviously a stepladder. But
Yeah. Well, my
yeah,
mom isn't very tall though.
oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. I don't know what to say with that. I'm out of my comfort zone on gaming, mate. Don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can move on to the next
absolutely incredible. I'd
to
love
the
to
next topic.
comment on something wouldn't sound like I knew about what I was talking about with gaming, but really I haven't got a
Mm.
clue. So,
Just ask how many actions per minute you have on StarCraft. That's like
how
what
many
people think
actions a
you know.
minute?
Yeah, actions per minute do you have on StarCraft?
What I'm trying to wrap my head around the thing that was most amazing to me when you said I played 14 to 16 hours I'm not sure there's anything I could do for 14 to 16 hours a day without getting
Every day.
super bored. I mean,
Well,
I've done some things where I've been obsessed and feel like I've been really committed.
yeah, but when you're playing World of Warcraft, because it's so addictive, it's like you are living in that world. So what you're doing when you're playing for 14 hours is just regular living, but a lot cooler. So you don't really see it as
How is it
like
cooler?
because
How
there
though?
are swords and magic and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's surely not cooler than real life. I
Fuck,
mean, what about if you
it's
get
not
double
it's
reward?
not cooler. It's not cooler than sex, that's for sure.
I was just gonna say, yeah. There's no
Mm.
let
But
you
to
live.
be fair to 99.7% of all gamers, they've never had sex.
Oh, okay.
And so they don't know that there's actually a real world out there that's a little bit better.
So Benji Mac, Derek, Ethan Fritchie. Clearly, you'll understand at this point of the show that opens a avenue of piss taking and banter that I hadn't realised previously. Awesome. Anyway,
More you know.
yeah, it's on now. It's all now, mate. It's all. What I'm gonna say. Oh, hours of fun. Not 16, 14 hours a day, but you know, yeah,
No, but for 16 seconds.
yeah. So about
Yeah,
that.
if you do it
So
twice.
let's move on from gaming then, mate, as that's a chapter in the past.
Yeah.
First arm wrestling club, first arm wrestling experience, first time you ever sort of thought, right, and also why
Hmm.
did you get into it?
Well, I had knee surgery November 22nd, 2022. And as soon as I left the crutches, I started arm wrestling. And the day of the injury, actually, they had like this. Heidi Anderson had this arm wrestling event at Sweden Rock Festival, where it was kind of like a last man standing, but anyone could go up to the table and challenge the person standing there. If you beat them, you stay there, and then it's last man standing. You stay there until you lose. And do you know who Daniel Axelson is?
Yes.
My, you do, yeah. He was there standing when I went up. So I arm wrestled him. That's like one of the first times I ever arm wrestled on a
Yeah.
table. I probably had done it once or twice before, and I don't remember if I beat him or not. I think I beat him, but he was also obviously tired, standing there for 27 matches. And then you look at the scoreboard and it says Glenn Bengtsson, 126. So Glenn Bengtsson had been standing there for 126 wins, and then he gave up because he wanted to go see some show, I guess. Uh, and then later that night, I broke my knee, so I figured I wanted to go back to arm wrestling because Petra Dam, I had arm wrestled with her once or twice before. And then kind of discussed with her, and she like, hey, you should start arm wrestling. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I don't have a leg anymore, so why not? So I've never been in a club. Like I've never been a part of a club because it's 40 minutes until the closest club, and I had people from that club living where I'm living, and we had tables at the gym I was training strongman at. So where I still have tables or still train when I'm in Sweden.
So you were
Uh,
living out in the middle of nowhere.
no,
So you're in a
It's
city. It is a town, or I know because you said it was university town.
yeah, but it's like I don't know how many, maybe 80,000 people living here.
Oh yeah, so
But
not. Yeah,
we in South Sweden we have two clubs or three now. We have one in Malmo, and that one didn't exist when I started. It's like a year and a half, 2 years old. So
yeah,
it started just after I started.
okay,
But when I went there to try out one time, there was nothing anyone could do. So I didn't really see the point going there because I was too strong for everyone.
yeah,
But you had Niklas Nannestad and Glenn Bengtsson in Helsingborg, which is like 45 minutes away.
yeah,
So I went there to practice a few
mhm,
times. But then with work, because, and yeah, you know how it is, time, I didn't go regularly. I
yeah,
just trained in Lund where I live, and people came to me and trained. And then I was every time I've been away, like I've trained with so many clubs in Sweden due to my work when I've been traveling around working. So, but I've never had one club or I never belonged to a club.
wow.
So,
So there, right. So you've never been in a club in Sweden,
never been a member in a club, no,
and
or
yet
anywhere.
you've got to be in the conversation for one of the very best or overall champions of the country. I mean, how many people in Sweden do you figure could beat you at any weight?
No, no one.
So to be a sprung,
Well, he's the only one that's in question
mm,
because we
you
don't
ever
know his
pulled him at
right
all?
arm. Never. He lives 8 hours away.
And I'm meaning right-handed, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Left-handed is nothing to talk about. He would destroy me like no competition at all.
But there's
Left-handed.
never been a match between you and him right-handed.
Never even ever even been a training session.
Who
We
were
have
the
never
other
trained
guys
together.
over there that is there anybody else in that conversation that people think that it's widely assumed or felt that could give you a problem in Sweden?
I know there are a few that think they can give me
Who are those
anything.
guys? Let's fire some names out there.
Dennis Söderl. I
Yeah, I
think
know.
right now I don't even think he believes that he can beat me because he's not in a good shape right now.
Okay.
I trained with his brother this Saturday, and his brother told me that right now he's not in good shape.
Okay.
Someone else who thinks they can beat me could be. I don't really think. There's only one guy from like Bosnia. I think he's Bosnian. His name is Admir Rahik. Ratchik. I don't know how I pronounce his last name. I think he believes that he can beat me because he has beaten me in training.
Yeah.
But we have pulled twice in competition, and this was when I had been training for less than a year and little more than a year. Twice in competition, I faced him and I killed him both times. So I don't know where he gets the idea from that he can beat me in a competition.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's always good that people believe that they can, but like then there's a reality as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I
So
don't really think people think they can beat me anymore.
that's pretty remarkable that you've been and that you're at the level you're clearly at now. And yet you've never been in a club over there. So is it fair
But
to
I
say that the
think
club that you've spent most time in would be the Copenhagen club, where you've got
no,
the Mendigus and
I, I've only trained there maybe 7 or 8 times in
okay,
total.
so even there, not
So,
much.
so I think it's Petra's club that I've been training with the most. That's probably 10 times.
Yeah.
Or in Helsingborg, same there, 8 to 10 times. But I don't know, like training in one club, I think is detrimental to your progress
Mm.
because you're pulling the same hands all the time. No one is giving you anything new, and you try to get stronger instead of getting better at the same time. So,
Mm.
because you see a lot of people there who have stagnated. They've been pulling in the same club for 10 years and they are not getting better. They have stagnated. It's just like there's no progression at all. And I don't know, like, I think club pulling is kind of like a curse, but also you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
but I've been traveling so much, so I've been pulling a lot of people.
Yeah, you've been pulling a lot of competitive matches.
Yeah, and I've
But
been
in
pulling a
terms of
lot
the
of good
time
people.
training in between that, would you say you've trained mostly on the table when you've been to places with other high level guys?
Yeah, well, combined together, probably not, but I've had a lot of high level training, but not most. Most of my time has been with the lower clubs.
Okay.
But it's still like when I train, I never try to be anyone. Never.
Yeah.
Never try to be anyone. I just try to learn. I try to figure out moves. I try to figure out pressures. I try to figure out how to defend and how to attack. Almost never attack though, just defend.
Yeah.
Because that's how I have to train to get any form of quality training at all.
Yeah. I can understand. The
Yeah, and you have
curse
to
of a
give
very big
give
athlete is that.
yeah. And I got the idea that arm wrestling is about skill more than strength when I pulled Niklas Nannestad the first time,
Yeah.
and he ripped me like nothing.
Mm.
And I was like, how can this fucking twig beat me? I'm so much stronger than he is. There's
Yeah.
no way he can beat me in strength anywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
Like he,
somebody like yourself, like I said before, you're looking at Nicholas's genetic makeup a little bit like Tom Holland. Those lads show up at a fancy dress party painted green. You're
yeah,
thinking more grass than Hulk,
yeah, exactly.
So um, they are pretty remarkable in terms of what they do. But then again, let's be honest, even Matt Mask, he's not carrying a lot of weight, but he's tall, lean. Kevin Bongard was another one. Tall,
Yeah,
lean.
but
You don't look at
Mask
him and think
actually,
physically
Ma
imposing.
Mask has forearm muscles. He
Yeah,
sure Nicholas has too, but it's still they're the same height. But Mask weighs 108 or
yeah,
like somewhere around there, and Nicholas Nannestad weighs 85.
yeah,
So it's like 22 kg difference,
yeah,
and Mask is leaner than, or maybe the same amount of body fat as Nicholas Nannestad.
yeah.
So even though Mask is very small, he's still a lot bigger than Nannestad.
And in the hand and wrist and just structurally
Mm.
bigger man, isn't he? A lot of
Yeah,
that
but
is
Nicholas has very big frame. Like his elbow to fingertip is slightly below mine, and
in
his hand
terms of
is
the
just
length, but if you look at the scale of the wrist,
yeah,
the thickness of the
yeah,
hand,
true. That's the difference. Yeah,
yeah, that's he's not particularly big in that respect. Whereas Matt is. Matt is
yeah,
thick frame. He's like his skeletal. He's really really
mm,
big. He's a giant, 105 kilo puller. But
yeah,
yeah, they're both. Some of those wiry, strong guys are remarkable, mate. They really are remarkably strong. But dude, we've been on here now for about an hour and a half, and this is part one. I
mm,
probably think that's not a bad place to leave this first part. And I'd
we
like to
can do
get back
that.
on in the next couple of weeks if we can,
Absolutely.
at least to do the second part and then go on from there. And in the interim, guys, if you're watching this episode, please message myself, please message Filip with any questions, topics, anything that you guys would like to know from Filip, and we'll cover that in
Mm,
the next part because one day next week we'll jump on. I'm talking of massive. Mindaugas Terasatis has just jumped into the chat, um, so that's probably the
perfect timing.
best I've ever had on here.
That's the
Certainly.
best time to quit then.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when Mindaugas shows up, usually everybody leaves. So
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, what a complete that is. I mean, when he was born, the midwife slapped his mother. Absolute, that is. But I love him. No, he's
It's a
class.
love hate relationship, I
Yeah,
guess.
mostly a lot of hate, but a little bit of love
Yeah.
as well. Just saying. So yeah, Mindaugas, what a guy. Philip, been a great hour and a half, mate. Found it fascinating.
Yeah.
As
Thank you.
always, you are without any question one of the most engaging guys in the game. Very interesting, and I have absolutely no doubt. I mean, the reason we love you in Arm Wars is because of that. You're a smashing lad on and off the table, and you can see how
Thank you.
driven you are and how progressive you are, and you're clearly built for the sport, mate. So I've no doubt you're going to go
Mm,
onwards and upwards as time goes on. But it's fascinating to be able to dig into a little bit of your past and find out a little bit more. So thank you for
Mm,
your time to do that, mate. Really, really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And I'll be in touch. We'll get something in for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gents, if this is your first time on Supernatural Strength, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please give this guy some love. Filip, tell them where they can come and follow you, mate. YouTube, Insta, everywhere else.
Yeah, YouTube, it's Viking Arm Wrestling. You can just Google Filip Larsson, and I think I'll come up there somewhere, or Filip Larsson Arm Wrestling, and I should show up. And Viking Arms underscore on Instagram. And yeah, those are the main things I use now. I just started YouTube. I'm gonna be giving away all my secrets, even though I don't consider them secrets, to how I've become, or how I've come to where I am, and how I see arm wrestling, and how I see how I arm wrestle, my methods and my thoughts on how I do it. So I'm gonna go a bit in depth, do episodes where I go in depth in what I think about in the setup, how I attack, how I defend, and yeah, how I train. But the training is gonna be just like two, maybe three episodes, because it's so simple, it's ridiculous.
Ladies and gents, fascinating individual. Filip Larsson of Sweden, a real rising star in the super heavyweight division. And Filip's going to be with us at the Titan House 3 event at the beginning of November, just after EVW. And he'll be sharing some of that knowledge with the big boys we're bringing over. Already confirmed, Robert Oberst is going to be there, Lawrence Charley, Rob Frampton. We're also looking at the Jim Reaper, Josh Baker being involved, Eddie Hall being involved. I would like to think that we'll see Brian there. We've got some of the best girls in the world in Rebecca Roberts. Sam Beliveau is joining us, Laura Baxter, and many, many more. So please keep your eye on that. Terry Holland's also throwing his hat into the ring at this next Titan House. So some real big boys, powerful ladies, they're coming. Titan House 3. That's coming up at the start of November for all the Arm Wars YouTube channel members. Couple of merch shout outs. We've just dropped some new merch for members and also open sale. If you want to get over and check those out on the Arm Wars site, you'll see them. Remember, members, you get your £5 members discount if you order from the post that's in the members area. Guys, we'll see you next time. I'll see you on the fix at the weekend. Filip, your leg end, mate. See you soon. Thank you,
See
bro.
ya.